Who could have thought that bad customer service impacted the world the way it did? But it is exactly what happened to Ferruccio Lamborghini and Ferrari. After this unfortunate event, he went out of his way from building tractors to making Lamborghini one of the most exciting carmakers in the world. They are the epitome of excess, luxury and performance. They are so excessive that they invented a whole separate car category, warms the coldest hearts supercars. Any car that carries the Lamborghini's Raging Bull is more than capable of skyrocketing your heartbeat and makes you fall in love again and again. The fact is there are not many bad cars made by Lamborghini, but even Lamborghini sometimes struggled to put together a complete package. These are the 5 worst Lamborghinis ever. Lamborghini Espada. Lamborghini Espada is not what you expect from a Lamborghini. This car is a 2+2 Grand Tourer with Lamborghini Miura's V12 on the front and a rather good GT car. In fact, it is so good that it was the best-selling Lamborghini until the Diablo rolled along in the 90s, but Espada was not without its flaws. The best it can do is 8.5 mpg, not that fuel economy mattered when you were in a Lamborghini, but this is a Grand Tourer, a highway cruiser. The car was a little heavy, so the steering was on the heavier side as well. But most importantly, the car's proportions were a little off and it looked a little weird. Some people like the look of them and it looks better in the metal. The Espada used a semi-monocoque unibody, constructed of pressed sheet steel and square-section steel tubing. The hood was constructed of aluminum. This chassis was a new design manufactured by Marchesi of Modena, the firm that also constructed Miura and Islero chassis. Bare chassis were shipped from Marchesi to Bertone, where bodywork, paint and trim were added prior to final assembly at the Lamborghini factory. The steel chassis and bodywork suffered from rust issues, with journalist Denis Jenkinson observing visible rust on a car with 10,000 miles during a 1972 road test. Lamborghini Murcielago. Lamborghini Murcielago came to say there's a new sheriff in town. Audi had just bought the Lamborghini from some not-so-reputable Indonesian investors and didn't like the cars Lamborghini was working on, so the people at Lamborghini had to move on with Murcielago. Murcielago was a cool car, it had the wow factor like the other great Lamborghinis. And it had the performance to back up its looks. Power came from a 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V12 and delivered to all the wheels, with 30/70ths power distribution. Lamborghini's V12 produced 572 horsepower and the top speed was 207 miles per hour. A roadster variant was introduced in 2003, followed by the more powerful and updated LP640 Coupe and Roadster and a limited edition LP654 Roadster. The final variation to wear the Murcielago nameplate was the LP674 Super Veloce, powered by the largest and final evolution of the original Lamborghini V12 engine. Production of the Murcielago ended on the 5th of November 2010, with a total production run of 4,099 cars. Its successor, the Aventador, was unveiled at the 2011 Geneva Motor Show. Lamborghini Jalpa. Lamborghini Jalpa is an entry-level supercar. These cars, also lovingly called baby Lambos, are there to finance the bigger projects like the Miura or Countach. These cars are more approachable and more suited to day-to-day use. This car had a classic Lamborghini design, but it is not a great buy. First of all, this car is getting more expensive, because there are only 410 of them. According to experts, it is more costly to keep it running than a V8 Ferrari of the same era. The engine can be problematic. Some earlier examples need the engine dropped to change the spark plugs, which is an expensive process. The Jalpa was a development of the earlier silhouette intended to fill a role as a more affordable Lamborghini, being much less expensive than the flagship Countach and being also designed by Bertone. Compared to the Countach, the Jalpa was much easier to drive, having better visibility and being more tractable in heavy traffic and at slow speeds, although reviewers have noted that it had a heavy steering and accelerator. Lamborghini Gallardo. This is one of the most important Lamborghini models ever produced. Before Gallardo came out, Lamborghini's best seller was the Diablo, which sold almost 3,000 cars worldwide. When Gallardo hit the market in 2003, folks at Sant'Agata probably didn't expect this level of success. Almost 15,000 Gallardos were sold worldwide. This is a huge number for a manufacturer like Lamborghini. In 2014, When they pulled the plug on Gallardo, almost half of all Lamborghinis were Gallardo, and it is easy to see why. Lamborghini Gallardo is an attention grabber. Forget about a peaceful Sunday drive if you are in the market for a Gallardo. This car has great styling, mated with an equally impressive V10, so it makes all the right noises. It produces enormous power, handles great, and there are not many cars that you can experience raw power other than a Lamborghini. The Lamborghini Gallardo has one petrol engine on offer. The petrol engine is 5,204 cc. It is available with automatic transmission. Depending upon the variant and fuel type, the Gallardo has a mileage of 6.4 kmpl. The Gallardo is a two-seater 10-cylinder car and has length of 4,345 mm, width of 1,900 mm, and a wheelbase of 2,560 mm. Lamborghini Jarama. In a conversation about Lamborghinis, the Jarama name is rarely mentioned. It is a forgotten Lamborghini. It is a great everyday car. It had sporty styling and usable back seats. As per usual, it is powered by a powerful V12 that sounds angelic. Not only was it the last front-engined Lambo until the Urus came, but it was also Ferruccio Lamborghini's favorite model. The thing about the Jarama is the build quality, or the lack thereof. These cars are famous for rust issues, but the main reason why this car is on this side of the list is the looks. It looks controversial at best and downright ugly at worst. This car is definitely not a looker. But it is rare. It is powered by a V12 and the prices are relatively low. So if you like the look, this car is a good way to enter Lamborghini ownership. After the soft and curved lines featured on its predecessor, the Islero, the Jarama came with a wedge-shaped bodywork that looks somehow impressive. At the front, it featured half-covered dual-round headlights. Its turn signals were mounted into the metallic front bumper. The flat hood sported two air intakes on the sides to provide cold air to the engine. From the sides, the roof revealed a slight upkick toward its end and a sloped back. Despite the hatchback styling, the Jarama featured a trunk lid that opened without the rear windscreen.